I wonder what Kaya would have to say about this episode and how Trina was acting. Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative, and I'm coming back at you with the Love and Hip Hop Miami season 5, episode 2 recap and reaction. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to. And also, if you're a returning person, welcome back. Let's get into a brief recap, and then I'll give my awards for the episode before the predictions. So, quick summary of what went on. Trina starts off the episode talking about how she wants to support more women artists and be a part of this initiative where they bring all these female rappers together, and Super Cindy is there and kind of approaches her about meeting basically the only woman rapper that's going to be at her cipher that she's hosting. And Trina agrees to go in the beginning, right? You also see Bucky or Shay still trying to get that man is it Fabo, sorry. Fabo to marry her. And the conversation is a little strange because I guess she wants to pressure him to marry her, but he wants to pressure her to have another baby. It is what it is. Next, you see Gunplay and Trick Daddy. Gunplay's bragging about his new girl, saying she's so smart, she's getting a PhD. And then Trick says at that age, all he had was an STD. So them two are just yucking it up, and it's unfortunate because Gunplay was actually recently in the news, even though he was glowing and so happy about this girl. It seems like they have fallen out allegedly. So according to TMZ, and I'm gonna just read the article because it kind of relates to some of what we see in the episode. um Gunplay, he was arrested for battery and child abuse, and Von Shea, his wife, seems to be divorcing him. So this is what the TMZ article says. It says, rapper Gunplay landed in jail after his wife told cops he pressed a rifle against her chest and threatened her. According to docs obtained by TMZ, hip hop cops in Miami arrested the longtime Rick Ross associate, on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, false imprisonment, and child abuse. His wife, Von Shea Taylor Morales, claims he pointed an AK-47 at her while she was carrying their 6-month-old daughter. Von Shea told officers she and Gunplay went out to dinner, and when they came home, he was highly intoxicated and playing a game on his Xbox extremely loudly. She told officers when she asked him to keep the noise down, Gunplay became violent and began throwing glass liquor bottles and cups in her direction, forcing her to cover the baby with a blanket to prevent glass from injuring her. Afterwards, she claims Gunplay then picked up an AK-47 rifle and pressed it against her chest while she held the baby, allegedly threatening. I'm not going to read that because that's horrible. Anshe said she tried to escape, but Gunplay blocked her exit and attempted to grab the baby by her head and neck. Vanche stated she began screaming for help, which she says prompted Gunplay to exit the apartment and also yell for help. She says she picked up the rifle, stashed it in her luggage for everyone's safety, and then fled. She called out Gunplay Sunday on Instagram and announced she was filing for divorce after 1 year of marriage. When officers arrived on the scene, they say Gunplay denied all the allegations, but was still arrested and booked on charges. The Florida rapper recently celebrated his 44th birthday last month, where he displayed extreme fits of rage after the club DJ spun a couple of 50 Cent songs, causing him to flip out and throw trash cans. Gunplay has since deleted all his social media handles. So, watching this episode, that whole news story kind of colored everything. So, that scene, it was, again, bittersweet to see Gunplay so happy, but really sad to know how it's turning out right now. Okay, so you also see Bucky again, Harshay with Fabo. and she goes with him to meet up with Safari, which is kind of funny. And then Safari asks Shay her opinion about Amara, and they're hooking up. And Safari also admits here that he wants a vasectomy. Next you see Super Cindy hosting the well, she's not hosting the cipher yet. Sorry, Zoe Brinks is doing hair and talking about the cipher hosted by Super Cindy. And you see how she's really doing hair to fund her dream, but she wants to be a rapper, and she sees the cipher and meeting Trina as a big chance. Next, you see the baby, Avanshe, and Gunplay. And again, these scenes are bittersweet because they look so cute and happy, but again, the news is saying it's not such a happy scene. And apparently the baby survived a lot. They had to have a GoFundMe for the baby because the baby had all kind of heart problems. But now they're all together and healthy, and they're going to have a party for the baby. And they want to invite Walshay's mom, but apparently Walshay's mom and Gunplay don't get along, and there's some letter and some beef, and Gunplay is kind of speaking ill of the mother and cussing her out, saying he's not gonna go if she gonna go. All right. Next we see the cipher, and Trina's just super dismissive of Zoe Brinks. She's saying that she's tired. So Super Cindy tries to introduce them, and Trina just basically leaves abruptly, even while they're still trying to introduce her to the girl. And even Bobby Lice was like, nah, Trina got to be nicer. Like, this is my cousin, but this is not cool. Next, you see the party for the baby, and Gunplay actually does show up. So he caves, even though he said he's not going to go if the mom is there. And sure enough, him and the mom kind of get into it, but she squashes the conversation and say they're not going to talk about the issues there at the party. And last but not least, there's another event, and Shay and Amara get to confront one another. Amara calls Shay insecure, and then Shay tells Amara that Safari wants a vasectomy. And that's basically the end of the episode, or the most important parts of the episode. Now let's get into the awards, because it's it's interesting to see how people are, especially when you hear about their stories in the news. So I'll start off with who was the most devilish, I guess. And it's probably colored by the news articles, but I'll have to give that award to Gunplay, because I did not like how he was cussing about Vanshay's mom, and how he threatened not to go to the party. He's not in complete timeout because he actually does go, right? But you see his temper there, and he did talk a little slick, a little crazy, a little disrespectful, to Vanshay. So I didn't like that. And again, based on what's going on in the news, he does have a little side to him that Vanshay got to watch out for. And I think overall, in general, it's good to respect elders no matter what. If you care, especially about, your spouse, their parents are people that you should respect as elders, but then also as people in your family who you want to reconcile with, you want to have good relationships with, right? So call them out their name. Not a good look, so he gets that award. The queen of the episode I thought was Super Cindy, because she spearheads that cipher, and you can tell she talks about female empowerment and women getting together, but she also puts her money where her mouth is, and she tries to make the connect between Trina and Zoe Brinks. And then when Trina acts up and kind of hurts Zoe, she's the one that comforts Zoe. So she gets the Queen of the Episode award. My heart went out to Zoe Brinks for this episode. I just really liked how you saw her drive and her desire to make her dream come true. And she says she's living basically in the hair salon where she's renting out. And so she's making a lot of sacrifices. She seems to have a sweet spirit, and I felt really bad when Trina kind of dismissed her, and she was hurt. And I'm just glad that Super City was there to comfort her. And it's very true. A lot of times when people meet their idols and their heroes, they get disappointed. But that's why I feel that you should not idolize anybody. Like, really, Jesus Christ is the only person I put on a pedestal because he's the only person that was perfect. And everybody has flaws you're going to be disappointed by. So in this case, she got disappointed by Trina, and I did feel really bad for her. My heart goes out to her, and I hope that, she gets success through some other venue, or she gets to meet Trina again and Trina acts right. Which brings me to who's in timeout. It's definitely the baddest, or the baddest actor in this episode, which was Trina. She was acting tired, but really it was an excuse. She had promised Super Cindy that she would go to the cipher. So even if she was tired, she could have at least met the one woman rapper that was there. Like Super Cindy told her in the beginning that in the cipher there was only one woman. And she's talking about how she wants to do this woman empowerment, you know, all women rap CD or whatever it is, I don't know. And she disrespects the one woman that she was supposed to meet. So before she left, she could at least kept it professional, even if she didn't want to be friendly. Honor your word, honor your promise, meet the girl. I did not like that. And I wonder what Kaya would have had to say about Trina, because Kaya's actually really good at roasting. And even though Trina calls herself the baddest chick, I know that one of a famous Kaya roast of her, she calls her the baddest basset hound. And in this episode, she was acting like that. So I kind of want to see Kaya's reaction to this, but she probably's not watching this show, so it is what it is. Predictions, obviously Safari, and I might have to talk about this vasectomy thing. And this is a good life lesson. I think before you link up with people, especially romantically, before you tie yourself to them with, bonds of like hormones and get into, you know, what her and Safari do involving children, especially, you need to know what your values are, what your life plans are, what your goals are, what your dreams are. Like those conversations need to happen, especially, like I said, if children are involved. So if Safari really is not planning on having kids and Amara does want kids, like Shay says, she should have never gotten entangled with him, especially to the level of him meeting her children and having them form attachments to him, because not only is she gonna have to break up with him if things turn out bad, but they're also gonna have to deal with the loss of that person. So I don't know what's gonna happen. We shall see. There's other obvious, characters and issues, especially what I'm curious about is how Ray J and Princess turn out, because I think in the preview, Ray J is gonna have some plan where he's gonna try to entice her to not want to leave Miami, even though he's skeptical and saying that she probably wants to go back to gambling. And again, if she does have a gambling problem, she needs therapy. She doesn't need, Ray J's harebrained scheme to like entice her, tempt her to stay in Miami. She needs help because behavioral addictions are real. Gambling is a form of, behavioral addiction. Food addiction is also a behavioral addiction, like sex addiction as well. So Princess needs help, and hopefully we see it play out and her get that help. So that's the end of, what I was thinking about. Post in the comments what got you interested this episode and what other things, you know, you think I want to say. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, you're the master of your fate and you're the captain of your soul. See you next time. Bye.